some local hotel during during short distances. Yeah, and it was a really interesting experience for me.
Sonia, or you shared with us?
Yeah, I can. I wouldn't say I traveled really often. To be honest, I've never been abroad. I live in Russia, and but once I visited Crimea. That was my favorite vacation, I guess. And the best city I've seen was Yalta. I absolutely fell in love with Yalta. Because I don't know, I liked everything there, especially one birds, which is called I forget, probably Fyaheri or Goglitsa, I don't know, but they song very in an interesting way. And I also liked the cliffs, sea, warm weather, I don't know, nature, and people. People were very nice there.
When did you go to the Crimea?
It was in 2018. And that was my last vacation, actually.
Okay. When Crimea become in Russian part, yeah.
Yes, maybe become, maybe not. But I'm not sure. But yeah,
I also has been in Crimea, and it was 2014, and then I was in 2017. Before, when it became a part of Russia. And I remember too that everything was cheap, and just attitude from local people also was friendly and helpful. They were polite and so on. But I don't know how the situation in the present moment. I have heard that everything become more expensive than earlier.
And really dangerous.
Maybe.
And dangerous, yeah. Especially for now.
Sasha, you're muted if you want to speak with us.
Hello, ladies. Yes. I wouldn't say that I really want. I mean, I can join, I can talk, I can listen. Sometimes it's much interesting to listen than to talk. But what's the question? Would you remind me?
What's the best place you've ever visited and why?
Oh, it's hard to say, like in a single answer. So many places all over the world.
Choose one, please.
I suppose it was Gore, the North Gore in India. Supposedly, I think 2011. I wouldn't say absolutely gorgeous. There's a lot of species, but I think that I really like its kind of freedom. I don't know how to describe it better. I mean, you wouldn't do literally whatever you want to do, but you feel this kind of, passion that you free. in some sort of exception, of course, that they don't let you, drive your personal bike or personal car. Like rental is not the best for Indian government, but anyway, you also can find some tricks how to solve this stuff. Yeah, I mean, it's more or less clean if we compare with the rest area of India, because if you ever heard about that or have been there, it's pretty much kind of trashy area, too much people, so they contaminate everything what they could. So, but anyway, these north coastal line, this I would say icy white beaches, so the crystal clear water, if we can say it's a crystal, who knows what is it, is there any chance that it polluted somehow, contaminated, or I don't know, but it looks like, I don't know, pretense. And what I really like it was the drugs, the pharmacy stores were all over the, like when I was living in Moscow, I remember that we have like every 100-200 meters we have the pharmacy, like drugstore, and something like this there. So you come in like every 50 meters, but the only difference is cheap and it's original. I mean, you can choose whatever drug you used to do in the any tablets in Russia, for example, but its price will be, I don't know, like 40-50 times cheaper, and more options, like you have some kind of extra taste of orange or strawberry or blueberry, or so, like you have one medical stuff in Russia, you have like 15 in India with different tastes and different flavors, and you probably had, wow, how is that? And you see that because of the price and because of where its stuff was produced, you see this is original, it's made exactly here, or maybe maximum in China.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I wouldn't say this is the most perfect for somebody, this or that idea, what's the best place to come to live, to travel. It's one question. For me, that was another one. I don't know.
Well, do you was on South Goa or the North Goa? Sorry, I don't follow.
Yeah, that was in north. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, south it's Kerala. So in Kerala, I know some of my friends were in Kerala. They say it's a little bit expensive and probably more opportunities because they have kind of the access to some other beaches, which is because the tourists looks like they kind of mostly from Europe, like from Germany and France, so they used to pay a little bit more, and that's why they have more opportunity to develop it in a better way. But yeah, it's north.
Oh, okay. I really thought that. Now I was 10 years ago in 2014, yeah, and it was so a lot of plastic under the palms, just only from beach. Beach is perfect, yeah, well, but if you go 50 minutes from the beach to the palm, all the space was covered plastic plates, plastic spoons, plastic forks. Maybe now it's better, at least I hope.
Maybe.
No, you don't see a lot of trash under the house.
If you're asking me, I personally, depends where you go in. I mean, at that place where I have been, I didn't really see plastic. I mean, probably the most contamination was because of the cows. The cows goes just on the beach, so it's a kind of divine animal there, and you can do anything.
Yeah, cows, yeah, it's okay, but well, maybe it's became better now.
Any ideas for the next travel for this year, next year? Anybody wants to go anywhere?
I have a question about if you have 3 weeks and no limits, where do you go?
No limits means like time limits or money limits, like financial limits?
No limits. No limits.
No limitations.
Now 3 weeks and no limits with money and documents.
I will try on this question. And it's more about dream, I think. And if I had 3 weeks and no limits, I would embark on a world tour, maybe, and I would start in Paris to experience the art and local cuisine, and then move maybe to a safari in Kenya. I think to see wildlife, because their wildlife is very beautiful and the richest, I think, in the world. And afterward, I would relax on maybe on the beaches of the Maldives. And my journey would include visiting also historical cities in Rome, because once I was in Rome, and I want to repeat this experience. And after that, maybe I go to see the Great Wall in China, and then finally maybe it would be like visit to Australia.
Wow! And all of this during 3 weeks?
No limits. Yeah, no limits.
Oh.
Yeah, on my maybe personal helicopter or plane. I don't know. It's like more about dream. Yes, this trip would be perfect, I think, to explore different sides of different culture. It's more about adventure and relax. Yeah, it's like a dream.
Any exact city in Australia?
Oh, I don't know. Sydney, of course, Sydney, and I don't know another names of Melbourne, yeah. The main cities, and of course, I would visit maybe desert.
Perth, Adelaide. What else they have? The North Bank. The big.
Yeah, everything. If I have no limits, why not? I just called at it everything because it's, I think, several places I have never visited in my life.
So what do we actually need to go to Australia? Is there some special type of visa, or I know that the ticket is about $2,000, but what about the visa?
I know about Australia that if you go there, you will not work there without license. You just can travel around, and there is everything is expensive.
When you say everything, what do you mean?
Everything. I think the life. In general, the life is more expensive than in the other places.
I know that the meat cheaper than in US twice.
Really, I don't know. Because I just know one girl who really obsessed on this idea to go to Australia, and to work there, to study there, and she tried several times to gain a visa, but it was refused. Yeah, and my expression about it, it's that I mentioned earlier.
Mm-hmm.
And what do you think about Australia? Maybe what do you know? Because you argued with me.
Yeah, I was actually going to immigrate to Australia maybe 10 years ago, and one of my agency were collecting the papers. We only were thinking where exactly. He was asking me where exactly are you going to go, and it was Perth, it was Brisbane, it was Adelaide, and of course it was Canberra, because we didn't really go to Sydney because it was, as you said, too expensive for rent apartment or some place to live. But Canberra was a little city, like capital, and it was more or less good. So they say like for the first time maybe it'll be $600-700. I mean American bucks. I don't know what there's some difference with Australian dollars, but I don't know. But first, what you also mentioned, yeah, some problems with the job, the documents that give you like opportunity to work.
Yeah.
And they also said blah blah blah. You need to pass these exams for like English proficiency,
also.
like IELTS or some other stuff. And actually, I was taking IELTS in Moscow for several times, and this lady, she go there and study there for maybe 2 years. I forget.
What was your sorry for interruption? What was your
IELTS?
band? Yeah.
Because a test is a kind of fake stuff. I mean, they want you to believe what they give you. So several times I have only fives. So like you and you have 5, 5, 5. Maybe speaking was about 6, but I knew that I can speak for 8, for example.
And your speaking is very good.
Yeah, the only thing that I can do is only speaking. I mean, I'm really bad in reading, in writing, in maybe listening a little bit better. But test is a little bit different stuff because you are in the place. Especially if when IELTS was in Moscow, I remember maybe 10 years ago, somebody told me it's gone. They put you in some kind of separated room, and all this stuff. It's really overcrowded and people sitting too close. Mostly it's the females. I mean, like maybe 90% females, 10% males. So most of the females, they're much smarter than you. I mean, not smarter than me. I mean, so their band usually higher than me. And when the teachers start asking them about something, of course, their level and their band would be higher. Even though I have 7, they have 9. So they put, and when there's too many people who has 9, they put everyone 7. And for example, they give me the 5. And after a couple of times I realized that, and I decided I should go to some other place where would be no so many Russian females. And this lady also told me the same. She was going to China, and because she has about also 5.5, 6, she got 8, 8.5, because most of the Chinese, they don't really know English. And her friend also was going to Malta. It's close to Italy, this little island. She said, you probably should go to Malta. It'll be easy for you to. And I was going maybe in 2009, maybe if I'm not mistaken, to Malta. I took the tickets, blah blah blah, and I was surprised because there also was only Russian who were studying, in some English schools, and some Chinese. And of course, my level in comparison with their level was like we compare all these Russian females in Moscow. Yeah, so I easily got 7.5 at that time, and on most of these cases, only writing was maybe 6 something, because it's really hard for me in that way. I mean, at that time and right now, I don't really know how to write. I don't know. I never write, but yeah, probably the best because it's not really a fair test. This is all like subjective stuff with the teachers, especially if they see the differences with the level. If they see some kind of Asian person who comes and he really hardly can express himself, and I'm speaking like faster than she thinks, so what's the problem? So she will put me higher than I deserve, and and that's the way. So reading also could be. I mean, even though this tests kind of checking your skills and some stuff, but they also help you sometimes, even though they don't need to or they shouldn't. But when it's because it's a really small place. I mean, if you for example in Moscow there's I don't know several hundred people there. I supposed to think there was maybe 7 or 8 because it's really small place and people come in there just just some local schools or some people who come there. So it's much easier.
I really but we want to speak something.
Okay. So thank you for sharing. It's really interesting, and it's pleasure to listen to you. And we will continue to answer our questions.
Sure.
Tatiana, maybe.
Well, we
will
have
answer
questions, so maybe we have to choose something really interesting.
Yeah.
The challenge. Well, after traveling, you return recharged or
every day?
Every day?
Not every day, but like twice or 3 times a week, maybe maximum 5 times a week I go there because I live near to this place and it's very interesting. It's the sunset, like especially sunset is like gorgeous.
Sounds nice. Hello, Sasha. It's really nice to see you again.
Hello,
have you ever been on hidden gems during your trips?
Can you repeat? Sorry.
Today we speak about travels, and do you know what is what is it? Travel hidden gems. And have you ever met hidden gems during your travel?
Hidden gems on travel, or hidden gems in the middle of the earth?
No. Something interesting but not popular during your travel.
Technically I'm traveling, I wouldn't say every day, but a couple of times in a week. So it depends where we travel in. I mean, I remember some places like in India, like North Goa. There's a lot of gems. I mean, starting from some kind of pure fruits which they can cut you just straight from the tree, from the palm, or like fresh pineapple or whatever. I mean, sometimes it's so harsh, so tough, it just devastates your tongue because it just cut. I don't know, is that a gem or what? Or sometimes there's icy beaches. They're, I wouldn't say they're icy or white, but they're so crystal that you think that they're icy. I don't know, is that a gem? Sometimes cows are going there in the middle of the beach and they start eating your blankets and your stuff. Is that a gem?
And yes, I guess, yes.
I don't know. It depends.
What is it? Oh, sorry.
Yeah, just give the question, which question we are going to follow.
I guess we have to go to the next question, yeah?
It's up to us.
Yes, let's move forward. What's the best and the worst food you've tried while away from home? I guess one of the best food was the pho bo soup. It's a typical Vietnamese soup. It was really yummy. And one of the worst food, I guess Australian desserts are disgusting. It was just a piece of bread and a peanut butter and sugar. Very boring. And how about you? Victoria?
Okay, the best food I tried, I guess, pizza and pasta in Italy. And after my visit to Italy, I realized why Italian people don't eat frozen pizzas. Because it's really delicious. Yeah, and as for my worst experience, I don't know. So far, no experience.
Have you ever heard about 100 days eggs?
No.
I saw it, but I've never tried it because it ever looked disgusted. It eggs which spent 100 days under the on the soil.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it has a black color, and it looks interesting, but I didn't eat it. It's typical Vietnam. It's traditional Vietnamese food, and I met it in Vietnamese market, but I'm not so brave for this food. Shungus, how are you?
Yeah. The best food that I ever tasted. Maybe it was recently. Like approximately 20 days ago, I went to Turkey with my family, and we stayed at a hotel. The hotel is named, if I'm not mistaken, it is Lake and River Hotel. It was a very beautiful hotel, and we got some. We went to the restaurant there. It was a Turkish restaurant with Turkish foods, like traditional foods, And to be honest, it was one of the worst food in my life because I know it's quite oily, and I don't like this kind of food where there are a lot of oil. And the best food is also when I was in Turkey, the pizza. I would because of its taste, because there are a lot of cheese. It was very I say one of the delicious pizzas that I ever have tasted in my life, because maybe the chef who were, I don't know, master, I don't know, but the pizza was very unusual. It was quite small, but very big in their, I'd say, it was big, but with short area. Also, it was tasty because of cheese. There were a lot of cheese, so it looks like in movies or in cartoons, it was very tasty. And yes, only in Turkey I tasted the worst food in my life and the best food in my life. What about others?
Nice. Yeah, the Turkey food and especially Turkey breads. Yeah. Really
Yes.
And Sasha?
Sorry, my mic is too far. I really like a lot of different cuisines and foods. I was also wondering when one of you said about Italy. I remember I was in little hotels, like private hotels in Turin and Milano, how they call it. They cook, some private cookies, some private little cakes, and panini and some other stuff. It's like you don't really need to go to the grocery store, to the bakery, because every little hotel has something by their own, and you never know what will be the next. I mean, I remember I was going like one night or one day from one hotel to another. I was chasing from each other, and every hotel gives something special, something more delicious than previous. I don't know. Some stuff like I don't know. Do you have you heard about that? Like some fat bumps, like delicious treats, like especially. I know there's a lot of books by keto diet right now. If you're kind of obsessed like me, for example, you can find a lot of low carb diets, paleo, ketogenic fasts, like fat fasts or lean fasts. There's a lot of kind of cookies like this. I don't know. There's a huge books. I don't know, chocolate brownie or some white chocolate macaroni fudge, or I don't know, cherry cocoa bars. There's so many stuff. I mean, there's a huge books like with the recipes with I don't know hundreds of recipes. So you can just like it's a yummy and delicious at the same time. So many, and also you can try to there's some stuff on I see there's some Instagram stuff with the French guys who actually upload it in the Instagram, the recipes and how they do this stuff, so you can try. Sometimes the only difficulty is that they are not in English, they're in French. Probably that's it. But you should find it. You should look at how they do this stuff.
Okay, thank you. I guess we have to come back to the common room.
Yeah, maybe I will try to upload in the whole chat some PDF books for keto diet with all this delicious stuff. Maybe I will try when our time will be over.
Back, guys, and the vocabulary part. So we're starting with the vocabulary part. Stay here, don't go. The vocabulary part here. After the vocabulary part, more questions, more discussions. But first, let's go here. And do you see my presentation like that? You see? Okay. When you get itchy feet, what does that mean? Or when you have itchy feet?
You can't stay in one place for a long time.
Yeah, you have this wanderlust, you just want to go somewhere, you can't stay in the same place. You really want to travel. That is your strong desire to travel and not stay and not remain in the same place. Okay.
It's like Evgeny Onegin.
Okay. And during your travels, some mishaps can happen. So a mishap, by the way, in terms of the pronunciation, a very interesting point. Two things that you have to highlight are both of the syllables. So not just mishap or mishap, it's mishap, because mistake happens, mishap. So what's that?
So travel when something unhappy happened to me, for example.
Indeed. Some kind of a mistake or a confusing situation, or just something went wrong, something went awry. So that is going to be a travel mishap. And of course, mishaps can not be related to traveling. That would be just a mishap. Like, something happens, something unexpected, unfortunate to you happens, and you can say, sorry, a mishap happened to me. So point is, it's not necessarily about traveling. When you feel out of your element, especially if you go to a different country, you might feel out of your element. What's that about?
Feeling out of place.
Out of place. So you feel
out of your comfort zone.
Absolutely. You feel uncomfortable because you don't belong to a certain place. And that, well, it is an unfamiliar situation in which you understand that you're not really comfortable. So yeah, you don't belong. That's why you're uncomfortable in this case. And sometimes you can feel awestruck.
Impressed,
indeed. In terms of pronunciation, an interesting point here, like a very long O, because you have to show that it is not just one tiny thing, but it is a whole word in that, like O. And then we've got struck, but the struck has the STR, which means STR becomes one str. So there is this sh sound that we get because of this S and the combination of S and T and R. So O struck. And it goes like you're trying to say sh, and then you go to the R, and you get something like awestruck. Starting from S and going with sh, and then R, awestruck, like that. Okay. So you're filled with awe. You are literally so impressed, like you can't even find some words to describe how impressed you are. This one is good. Intrepid explorer. Who is an intrepid explorer?
Well, is it like an
really keen? Again, everyone together again.
Without any trepidation.
Yeah.
Without pause, just explore all the time.
And speaking about interpretation, what was that about? Like, what's interpretation?
Like a fearless, courageous.
Yeah, exactly. So a very brave explorer, the one who might actually insert himself in some unsafe situations. But, well, this explorer is brave. So that is an explorer who is extremely brave and adventurous, and for the sake of adventure can overcome all the challenges and whatever the situation is. So speaking of the activities, doing the sights, that is quite an obvious one, right? Like sightseeing. Doing the sights is just a little bit clearer and easier to say. So doing the sights is like to go to do the sightseeing, basically seeing the sights, interesting places, like visiting popular tourist places. And sometimes, if we're talking about some tips, let's say, you can say that I swear by this thing. Like you're sharing your tip. You want to say, I swear by this thing. I swear by packing cubes for keeping everything organized in your suitcase. So when you swear by doing something, what does that mean?
Maybe say
for sure. No? You're so sure. It's being sure about some kind of a tip. Like you have an extreme confidence that something is good or something is going to work. So when you're giving some tips, you're giving some recommendations, you can swear by doing something. So it's like you have an extreme confidence that that is a good option or that is going to work. For example, here, packing cubes, it's like, that is the best option that works every single time to organize your suitcase. And that's why you can say, like, I swear by packing cubes. Like, try it. You're definitely going to like it. So that's swear by something or swear by doing something.
Strong recommendation.
Yeah, exactly. So before we talk about jam-packed, which is quite obvious, we got to talk about this word. And I want you to try to read it correctly first. Your options?
Itinerary.
Well, it is written rary, right? We do have rary. So we want to say rary. But the point is, this part, we don't read it. It's just itinerary. That's it. Why? Well, because it's actually too long to pronounce. Itinerary, kind of long. And people, they try to make everything easier. So we just skip out this part. We say itinerary. That's it.
It's kind of probably.
Yeah, like probably. Probably becomes probably. And that is the same kind of thing. So it's literally itinerary. Just forget about one tiny part of this word. And when we're talking about a jam-packed itinerary, what's that?
I think when a person has a lot of plans during his or her trip.
Absolutely. So itinerary.
I want make just one brief note here. Okay. That the way that you pronounce it is the British way of saying it. In the American English, you would say itinerary.
Right.
So you
that's
would
what
say
I've heard.
that sound, yes. But that's in American. In British, just like Orla says.
I think it's very like it can vary, I guess, because in terms of the regions. Because I definitely know that in the US, I don't know, well, maybe in some regions we don't pronounce like itinerary, but generally it is supposed to be itinerary even in the US, like in the official version, I guess. So maybe it is still pronounced like itinerary, but the official version, like if you check, it might be itinerary. But, well, the British one indeed is definitely itinerary. And you know that the British guys, they really like not pronouncing words and syllables sometimes, so it happens. And speaking about itinerary, that is indeed some kind, well, not a map, but more like a plan with the sites that you want to visit. And jam-packed, that means extremely packed schedule and plan, an extremely detailed plan that you have to visit lots of sites and do a lot of sites. So yeah, very full schedule. And I would say not really schedule, but also a map, because, well, a map is included usually in this notion of itinerary. And sometimes you don't have it. That is quite the opposite, like a literally opposite situation. So you decide just to wing it. Instead of having a jam-packed itinerary, you might just wing it. So what's that?
do something spontaneously.
Absolutely. So we're not planning anything. We're just like winging it. I just decided to wing it during my plan. So you're not planning anything. You're just traveling and doing whatever you feel like. So no plan behind it. Improvisation. Okay, sketchy situation. What is that about? And that is connected to the intrepid explorer that we've just talked about. Sketchy situation.
Funny.
Dangerous
Dangerous. That's quite a dangerous one, because if you are an intrepid explorer, that means that you get yourself inserted in those sketchy situations, dangerous situations, unsafe ones. Maybe not really dangerous, but some unsafe situations, let's say. And well, sometimes you have to make the most out of your trip, or the most out of your time, or it's not necessarily about traveling. Sometimes you just have to make the most out of something. So what's that about?
Advantage. Take maximum advantage.
Absolutely.
To the fullest.
Absolutely. Take the maximum advantage. That's right. And well, to use something as, okay, here we have a very good one. Like use something.
Can you say more about it? Does it mean so they make the most out of means that they made all that they could from that trip, or almost everything?
I don't see the difference, by the way, but it is like taking and doing everything you can in a certain, not necessarily trip, but in this
they
case,
planned 10 things and they made only 3 of them, but they could not made more because the weather was too bad. So
that means that they made the most out of it anyways.
So we can use this phrase here.
Yeah, absolutely. Like that is according to what you actually can do. And if in a situation you can't realize your plans, still you can make the most out of the situation. Like, you have a planned schedule and everything is ruined because of the weather, for example. But you can still make the most out of your day by, I don't know, buying some pizza and watching a film and just drinking Coke or something like that. So you're still making the most out of the situation that you're in. So it is not necessarily about realizing the plans, that is more about like doing the best in the scenario where you got yourself.
I see, thanks.
And the last one, outlandish. And those who are watching The Boys at the moment might know Outlander and might actually see the connection with this word outlandish.
Unreal, maybe. Fantastic.
In a bad way. So unreal and in a very bad way, let's say. Bizarre. So that is like so strange, so bizarre. It's not like in a good way. It's extremely unusual and bizarre and weird and something that is not supposed to be, like something a little bit not normal. So if you know the series, like The Boys and Outlander, he's not really normal. He's a little bit outlandish, and that's why the name. Like extremely bizarre. Not something necessarily bad anyways, but just, something very unusual, something that is out of the norm. That would be outlandish. Okay, and finally, we are getting breakout rooms. So I'm going to be sending you to the same breakout rooms. And if you want, you can just change the breakout room. But the point is, remember the number of your room, because some of you asked for the ability to connect to people from the breakout room, which you're going to get just a little bit after our class. You're going to get some cards and you're going to be able to post your room number in order to find people from your room. So that's why, please remember the number of your room, okay? And let's go.
Ladies, as I promised, I uploaded some PDF in the, mutual chat.
Yeah. Yeah, so it was funny. Who wanna start with the questions? Sasha, do you want to start?
I'm actually finding another book, just trying to upload it, the second one. Some keto fat bombs cookbook, 5 minutes burning, blah, blah, blah.
Okay. Shungos, do you want to start with the questions? With the slide with questions?
Sorry, no, I don't want to start first.
Okay, no problem. Okay, I will.
Just tell me what's the question. I can easily do it.
It's not a problem. Do you often get itchy feet? Where do you want to go next? I just know that I want to go my next journey, but to be honest, I don't know which direction should I get. Maybe Montenegro, but really, I don't know. And now I just walking around my house and try to find something interesting. But luckily, I to make photos, and it can be interesting to make small photos and public in Instagram. It can be really it can be as interesting as traveling.
Uploading the photos is the same as traveling.
If you can't, if you don't have any possibilities for traveling, but if you really want to do it, another way to have your own endorphin makes a photo. Of course, it's not of course it's not the same. But because usually people use Instagram for photos from journeys, yeah. Now I public and last 3.5 years I spent in a very long journey in Vietnam, yeah. And I public photos in my Instagram regularly every week, yeah. And my friends, my colleagues, they're waiting for new photos, but now I don't have these photos, and I public good photos from my mobile phone in Instagram. Yeah, from St. Petersburg. Yeah. And I just try to find something interesting in St. Petersburg because my friends, my small audience, don't want to be boring.
Mm-hmm. So while you were publishing all these photos, you make them addicted with your Vietnam stories, right?
Sorry?
While you have been publishing all these photos, you make your friends and co-workers be addicted with your stories.
Yes, really, that's true. Yeah, and because I don't want to lie about my non-existent trip. Yeah, because now I'm still in St. Petersburg. Yeah, and that's true. I just want to find something interesting in my local space. Yeah. For example, yesterday I found a very old house in a local park and made a lot of photos. And of course, the travel abroad would be interesting, but if when you're stuck at home, it can be it's better to find something interesting at home or near your home than sit and cry that you don't have any something better. Okay, but I guess we have to speak about our next direction. And yeah, I guess that my next direction will be Montenegro, because it's not so hard to find a new job in Montenegro. And I hope to find a new job position in Montenegro, and maybe my next long trip will be in Montenegro.
So is that the question, that we are going somewhere to find a job, or simultaneously not only find the job but also traveling?
To be honest, I guess okay. If you speak about short trips, maybe Belarus. I really want to visit Grodno. I've never been in Grodno, and I want to visit this small town. Not as small, because near 400,000 people are living in Grodno, but of course, in compare with St. Petersburg, Grodno is a small town. Okay, how about you? Sasha?
Sasha, okay. Because when you say you, I'm still wondering who I'm talking with. Probably I would like to go to Italy. I don't know, but I'm more scared about the visa process and some other stuff.
Yeah.
And so technically, right now, in the next week I will go to Minnesota, and then my friends wants me to go to North Carolina and Florida. So I'm kind of waiting for this event, but still, Italy is still in my heart. So I'm still thinking to, because all this fake stuff in US doesn't really substitute what you see in Italy. Even though they say blah 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 made in Italy original recipe, I don't really believe this stuff. I mean, they trying to make copycats, so I don't know how to call them, but it's really hard. Maybe only grapes coming from Italy, but I don't know what else. Pizza, definitely not. Some panini, definitely not. So that's why I'm obsessed. You see, I'm uploading the recipes of easy baking, what I saw in what I see in Torino and Milano, and I'm still there. What about
Rome?
I've never been in Rome. I don't really want to go to Rome. I'm really, I don't really care about the history, about the arts. I'm just obsessed about, eating, cooking, and how something smells, and that's it. So even though it's one of the greatest city of the history, culture, and art, I don't really care about this stuff. Sorry.
But I guess that cooking is a part of culture. Okay, thank you. And how about you, Victoria?
I rarely get itchy feet. Yes, I pronounce correctly. So at this point of my life, I've traveled a lot, and now I realize that I'm really busy with my work, and to go somewhere far away, like you need energy for this. And for now, I don't have this energy. And also, you should plan your financial finances.
Yeah, finances.
Yes, so I'm not ready to go somewhere right now. But in a few weeks, I'm going to go to Kaliningrad just for a few days to relax a bit.
By the way, do you know this Couchsurf platform? If you don't have enough money, or if you don't have money at all, you can find the Couchsurf. There's a huge community all over the world.
Not really. You can send us a link.
Let me search. But yeah, actually you search like Couchsurf, and there's people all over the world who kind of exchanging their homes with you. So you invite them to your house in Russia. They invite you somewhere in, I don't know, Australia or Brazil or whatever. So technically you need only to get visa and some merely stuff for plane ticket. Sometimes they can give you the way how to save even in the plane. There's some options.
I think I heard about this option, but I totally forgot that this is an option as well.
Because I remember we have guests from South Korea. That was amazing. For 2 weeks, there were two teenagers and their father. I wouldn't say that I remember anything in South Korean, but that was amazing. I mean, and some of my neighbors go to South Korea because I was busy, but technically I should also go there.
Thank you for your advice.
I visited South Korea, and it's really a beautiful place. And I was in Petrozavodsk too, but I also visited small lakes in Karelia. Not Korea, Karelia, of course.
Yes, we have a lot of them.
So do you see the chat? I will just send you after 2 books. I send you this link, couchsurfing.com.
Yes, thank you.
So just try to sign up and find any destination you want, or you just can put your destination and find somebody who wants to go to Russia or like Soviet countries, former Soviet republics. And so there's some similar platforms, if I'm not mistaken, maybe 2-3 others where people also, because not only you who have not enough finance to go somewhere, it's all over the world. I know a lot of people in US who has no idea where to find the money, but they have enough money for the ticket. So, and they also want to go somewhere.
Okay. Chingus, how about your next trip?
Okay. I am a person who don't want to travel a lot, but it will be like enough if I will travel once a year. Is enough. But forthcoming, I will not. I'm not planning to visit visit any places because like forthcoming, I'm gonna to pass an IELTS exam. So I'm trying to I'm trying to prepare for it to improve my speaking, like via this speaking club. But next trip, I don't know. It will be next summer. I wanna visit like South Korea or Japan, but it's a very insurmountable goal for me because it costs a lot. So sorry, it costs a lot, but I want to visit it. Maybe I will go to my village, to my grandparents, and maybe to another city, maybe to another country like Greece or maybe Russia. But I don't know where I'm going to travel next time. But I'm willing to travel to the North Korea or any Asian countries because I love the culture of Asian. Like I love Asian cultures, like in Japan, Malaysia, Indonesia. So, but maybe I will go to Greece. I should to ask my mom or father where to go next time because I think when we go to another trip with whole family, we should discuss it with whole family members because different countries will not be interesting to maybe to kids or to parents. So we should ask. We should collect each family member and discuss about it. Discuss where to go, including our financial, our finances. So yeah.
Chingiz, did you find out how much does it? Approximate the cost of a ticket to Japan and the visa?
Yes, it's very hard to figure, but it's just aim. It's a dream to visit these countries. I dream, but I'm not planning to go there.
No, stop dreaming. Just say the exact price. Is that like 2,000, 4,000? Some dreams are easy to fall. Just like if you start saying like, okay, it's only 200 or like 2,000. So you start maybe fundraising and somebody will help you. But when you just say it's a dream, the dreams can be only dream. So start putting like a little pieces of kind of project, and you'll getting better and faster for this kind of project. So that's why I'm asking. Okay. That's why I'm asking. What's the price for the visa? What do you need for the visa, and what's for the ticket?
I don't know. Maybe tickets will cost approximately $1,000 or $2,000.
One way or round?
I didn't ever check how much costs visit as a visa or ticket to Japan or Korea. I never checked it in internet, but my prediction is it will approximately, the whole travel will cost me about $10,000. I think it's approximately value, but I don't know what's the exact value because I never checked it.
10,000. I can buy.
It's really a good idea to check it because I know that for Kazakhstan citizens, it's not so hard to find a job in South Korea, and I know a lot of people who found a job. It's a simple job as a farmer, for example, as a sorry, I don't know how it's in English, as a sorry, I'm sorry, shame for me.
Shame on you, exactly.
Yeah, really.
Technically, you can teach them English. Most of the Asians, they don't really speak English, so they're really in big need of, kind of teachers.
I know about it, yes.
warehouse worker, and it's not so hard to find this type of job if you are Kazakhstan citizen.
Storage worker.
And but if you will check this information in internet, you will it would be not so hard to find this type of job for you.
I see flights to Japan 360. Expedia gives the flights to Japan 358, so technically $400 one way. So it's not so expensive as you thought. So okay, 800 round trip, maybe visa about 200-300. So technically you can be with the $1,500. So you need to find a place where to stay, some accommodation. Try to search this couch surfing, and with the substitution of your parents' house or apartment, technically you can do it.
Okay, thank you for.
And it's very interesting to stay in other countries, especially if we speak about developed countries such as South Korea or Japan. It's an amazing experience, really. Okay, Victoria, how about? Sorry, I don't remember. Did you tell about it?
Yes.
I'm so sorry. You did, yeah?
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. Okay, next question. Did you ever face a travel mishap, like missing a flight or your luggage? Yes, I had. For example, when I was in Tallinn, once I had a really bad experience because I booked a new hotel, but when I found this hotel, I realized that it's a very old building with a very bad furniture, and it's has a very bad condition, and I didn't wanted to spend my time, especially nighttime, in this room, and I spent near 200 euros for hotel for another hotel.
Is that some specific?
And I was happy that I spent all my money, not my house.
Is that some specific brand of the hotel or some regular hotel?
No, it was. It wasn't branded hotel. It was only a small hotel, but it was so strange because I usually book and checked hotels, and photos was really nice and good, and the price was not so low. And I remember that it had 5 stars, and it was very strange that in real life I realized something like Soviet old. Disgusting, awful, not hotel, but really, I don't know how it's in English. I'm sorry. And really, not campus, because I rent my own room. Yeah, but a lot. I met a lot of awful refugees, and it was the center of Tallinn. Yeah, and it's expensive place, but it was really. I was really scared, and I guess it was unsafety for me to stay in this room. And of course, I booked another place, and I spent a lot of money. But yeah, I remember it, and I remember this as a bad experience with the booking.
Too many refugees.
Yeah, and of course I'm loyal to the refugees, but it's very strange to stay with the refugees only. When you're staying with the refugees and tourists, it's okay, but when you're staying with the refugees only, it's very strange. When you're a tourist.
Does it matter where the refugees come from?
Oh, I don't remember. Really, I don't remember. I didn't speak about it. I didn't ask them. Maybe from Syria, maybe I guess from the. I remember they were from Asia, maybe from Afghanistan.
Middle East, I get you.
Yeah, Middle East, maybe. I run away from this place. I didn't ask them.
As usual, yeah. I do agree.
And who want to share their experience?
I can share. Shingiji was just like, was interested me in I'm looking right now at the Tokyo, Osaka, and Kagoshima tickets that I was so obsessed. Like I was thinking, is it so hard, really? No. So what's the main idea of the question? Just to tell what's the hardest stuff, or what's the what?
Maybe it depends on like the hard moment, the hard step, like the confirming the visa or the finance is one of the most like it's conundrum, because because like my parents maybe will be disagree with my opinion that Japan or South Korea is a like beautiful and like I should to how to discuss it with my parents, because in my opinion they will not agree with my like with the statement that Japan or South Korea is one of the beautiful places to visit, because there are a lot of the population is very high, and the confirming the visa or
would you mind if I interrupt you?
Stuff will be like
what if you
difficult.
come alone, or what if you go alone or with your friends without a parents? Is that possible? Will your parents?
It's possible when I'm turned 18, because I'm now 17, so I cannot. And I'm maybe after like 3 or 4 years it will be possible when I will work for money, or when I have my own business, because money and visa is one of the most difficult problems. So with friends I can go. It's possible. It's possible only when I have $8,000 maybe. If it, like minimum $4,000 if it costs. So it will possible, but not a few, like not today, not after 1 or 2 years.
I would say don't limit your thoughts, because like your thoughts make
I don't limit.
Make your limit.
No, I can do it, but not today, not 1 year, not 2 years ago. After no, it is possible, but not in recent moments. No.
Victoria, what about you?
No, I just wanted to mention that maybe you can try to find some, volunteering opportunities, and sometimes these companies cover like the tickets, all the expenses. Maybe you can try to find some solutions and go like in the following years.
Technically, I can send you the vacancies in Japan and South Korea, and they will pay for residential stuff, for your tickets, and for some extra stuff for the next 6 months if you really want to. My previous boss was in San Diego. They want me to send, so they want to send me there in South Korea, Turkey, Japan, and China. So there's a lot of vacancies. So the only maybe thing, as you said, you have to be 18 and over.
We have volunteer club in our school. Like recently, our friends went to the South Korea. It costs $2,000. It's not as much as my prediction, but it also our financial I'd say we have not enough money to pay this money, because it is hard to us. So, but it's cheap. It's cheap than going with parents. So our volunteer club in our school it can offer some opportunities to enter. So yeah.
Sasha, and I heard about it. That it's really fine. It's really easy to find a job in the United States now.
Yeah, pretty much it's easy. You're right. It's more or less easy if you want to find a job. It depends on the state, of course, because there's a 48 plus 2 states. I mean, I don't talk about Hawaii and Alaska, but pretty much it's easy. I mean, I don't say about what's the minimum wage, because every state has a minimum wage. Like if you go to Walmart, probably they'll pay you in some kind of euro. in Utah State, it's, if I'm not mistaken, $7.58 per hour. So it's really small wage. But maybe in New York or New Jersey or Florida, it's minimum $15 an hour, minimum. So, I mean, it's, of course, you need a kind of work permit, but at the same time, you can find a job without any work permit. There's always a lot of jobs. Like, technically, my boss right now needs somebody who will do some exact stuff, to fixing something or to transportate some stuff. A lot of jobs, how to be, a kind of nurse, to be with the kids. Because a lot, nursery stuff is, it's really on demand. I mean, if the mom is working all the day, so she needs to put the kids with somebody, under surveillance or to feed the kid, they usually pay $20 an hour just for some kind of teenager who just will be with your kid for 5-6 hours. So, and technically you are living there, paying for your, for your residence. So they give you some separate room or some, sometimes a private bathroom, private restroom, and some other stuff. So
okay, it's quite interesting, yeah, because I thought about it when I was staying in Vietnam. I thought about job in the United
open the
States.
Telegram channels in like Massachusetts, New York, and New Jersey. There's a lot of channels, and especially in LA, Los Angeles. So you see the people are searching for somebody to sit with their kids, and the prices go from $20. So you don't need any work permit, they just need you to be here. That's the only thing they need.
Yeah, when I used to try to find when I tried to find a job in the United States, I realized that it's impossible to find a job as a pharmacist because I have 2 diplomas, pharmaceutical diploma in chemist. Different professions, yeah, and I realized that it's impossible for me to find a job as a pharmacist because it's important to have American citizenship if you want to work in the medical sphere in the United States of America. But it's possible to find a job as a sales manager, for example, as a as a technic, for example, not in medical sphere, but in a plant, for example. You can work as a worker in a medical plant.
Technically, you don't really need to have the citizenship. The only thing you need to work in medical stuff, they need to put your education, apply it for their standards. So if sometimes there's some subjects not enough, they need to send you for some extra education for usually about like
it's not a problem for me because I'm really crazy about my job, about my profession, but in all vacancies United States citizenship required. Really. It's very strange. Okay, no problem. But it's possible to find a job as a worker, as an engineer, as a technic, and also as a teacher, as a nurse. And nobody wants to be a teacher, really, in the United States. And if you're a teacher, yeah, not you, I speak about people, yeah. And if somebody wants to work as a teacher, and especially math teacher, science teacher, physics teacher, yeah, it's not so hard to find this position, especially if we speak about northern part of countries, but of course not New York State, yeah, because big competition, I guess, yeah. But if we speak about Massachusetts, yeah, Missouri, yeah, Missouri State, I guess, a lot of vacancies, a lot of positions.
I'm sending you the link for the CVS pharmacy position right now in Massachusetts. If you see the pharmacy technician and store associate.
Okay, why not? But
technically, you don't need to have any citizenship. Usually,
maybe technician. Because minimum wage in pharmaceutical position near $60 per hour, and of course it's high salary, and maybe one of the reasons why it's impossible to work as a pharmacist in the United States without American passport, because a lot of Americans wants to work as a pharmacist, and I know that a lot of people in the whole world have pharmaceutical diploma, and they want to work as a pharmacist in the United States of America, and it would be logical to keep the market, the labor market close for example, Arabian, Indian, yeah. And it sounds strange, but I don't know. Is it interesting for Victoria and Shungiz? No.
Yeah, I asked one question. I didn't catch one thing. Is that so? The main thing is that you should be there, like in the US, right? And what about these visa permit things? Like, is it possible to get
visa? Permit is a permit. It's a different stuff. Visa, it's the kind of your status, how you get into US, and do you have opportunity to work. So technically, if it's like a travel visa, you don't have opportunity to work. But if you have like another status, like for example, you study here, so this is another type of visa. When you study, you have at least 20 hours a week, then you can study. So probably Irina is not really right. You don't really need to have citizenship. You need to just have the opportunity, I mean, this work permit or work authorization. So mostly the government jobs, the CVS jobs and the pharmacy jobs, they don't really need you this stuff. Maybe with the Asians and with the Middle East, they don't really speak English. That's why they are not hired. But look at the link I sent you. There's a lot of vacancies right now. So they are searching for. I mean, it's not about the only thing that they give you this stuff because they want to find out how you will pay the taxes. So if you have a green card, if you have any other visa which is eligible for working, they will definitely hire. You can even be on the contract. If you open your LLC and start doing this kind of individual entrepreneur, so some companies also can hire you. So you don't really need to have a permission for work, like work permit. So technically you are a contractor right now. You have this employee identification number. It's another way of social security for the contractors. So if you open your LLC, you can work. So technically, if they're not scared that you pay your taxes, they can hire you. They're only scared that you will not pay the taxes. That's why they usually reject you. But most of them don't have any idea what's the difference between paying taxes. We have two forms. One form is 1040. Another form is like a regular form which the usually employer pays for you. That's why they don't really hire you, because they think that you kind of cheat or that you will not pay, and you put the company under the risk of not paying. But all this stuff is actually explained in the internet. If you Google this stuff, you'll find out how to deal with this stuff. I don't know, did I answer your question or not?
And let's say, is it possible to go there like a traveler? Let's say like this.
Yeah, this is the usual. Yeah, this is the usual way. People come in with a travel visa and then they change it. For example, when you come here, it's easy to change it for the student visa, and now you can work. So, but maybe if you start doing with a study visa, where you going from Russia, for example, they don't give you the travel visa because, study visa because blah blah blah. You're not convinced them that you really want to study. So you need to go to traveling like for a couple of weeks, and then you change in your status, and now you have opportunity because they always have a lot of vacancies. So look at the Indeed what I send you, and maybe try to type some other type of the jobs. Choose the state.
Indeed and Glassdoor, yeah.
Glassdoor mostly for reviews. I mean, they also have some kind of list of vacancies, but it's mostly for reviews. Who was working in this company? What do they think? How your employees, co-workers, and bosses. But mostly Indeed stuff and what else? I don't know, some other job aggregators, if I'm not mistaken. But Indeed usually, maybe LinkedIn is one of the also because.
Yeah, LinkedIn too. Yeah.
Right now, for the last 2 years, they start doing this job uploading in LinkedIn. It's much easier, and you can find exactly everything you need to find out who is this employee or employer. It's much faster.
Thank you very much, Sasha. It's really more. I guess it's more interesting than questions from the slides. More important for us.
Technically, I know that in New Hampshire right now, they're paying that you come here and kind of you travel like 2 days, and they paying for other 4 days that you've been, kind of doing this community stuff, fixing something, some literally kind of, fixing some apartment stuff or little hotel stuff. So it's not really hard to do this even for females, but they pay because it's really a state which has not so popular, like it's in the north. 2 seconds. Oh, sorry.
And welcome back. You know what we're going to be doing now, right? We're going to be taking a picture, so prepare. Everyone, prepare, please. The emojis and your smiles, please. Your favorite smiles and my favorite smiles. I love to see your smiles. So on the count of 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, I've done several. I'm going to choose the best one, of course. And guys, I hope you remember the number of your breakout room if you wish to reach out to your partners, because now, well, in an hour, not right now, but in an hour, I'm gonna post these cards and you're gonna be able to drop your number of the breakout room so you can just reach to some people and practice with them later on, okay? So thank you very much for coming today. Have a great
Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye bye.